Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's be free with Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. So small, watch the clock ticking off the wall, but tonight I'm letting it go. Spend my coin for sure. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a great Wednesday morning. There's a lot going on in the world at the moment. US elections and the second lockdown that starts tomorrow here in the UK. How are you guys feeling about all of this? There's a lot to think about with all of this. Now, you might have noticed last week I wasn't able to get online for this show. Unfortunately, I was actually away with the family, and my intention was to actually go live from my phone to show you that you can do that rather than just having a setup like this. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi signal and the cellular signal were terrible, and I couldn't actually do that. But what I did do is I did a pre-recorded video instead, showing you how to kind of set things up just using your iPhone, and that video is going to go live tomorrow on my channel, so please look out for that. So in today's video, I wanted to cover something that I've had a few questions about with clients, and that's, do I actually need to have a list before I actually use a piece of software like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, GetResponse, Aweber, MailChimp, all of those type of systems? And that is what I'm going to be going through in today's video. Hi, so if you don't know me, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing system. So as I've said, in today's video, I wanted to go through the question of, do you actually need a list before actually building a list? And quite frankly, the answer is no. But I don't want to just end the video, now. We've only just started. So I wanted to go into a bit more detail and what autoresponders can actually do for your business. Now, you don't actually need a list to actually start, before you actually even go and get a piece of software like ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, all of those types of systems are actually there to help you build your list. So you don't actually need a list to import into those. Now, I do know that a lot of people might be moving from different systems, so you might already have a list already, or you've gone out and you've actually bought a list. Now, you've got to be careful when buying these lists. So now, I do know that there are companies out there that say, yes, I've checked these emails, they're good email addresses and they're not spam, etc. But the issue nowadays, especially in the online marketing world, is these people have never heard from you. So having this kind of pre-bought list might serve you to a certain extent, but using systems like ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, Infusionsoft, etc., they kind of frown upon doing this type of exercise. And the reason for that is they're very protective over their own system. And why are they so protected? Because, well, with a lot of them, they have thousands of customers, and they have kind of these server farms with different IP addresses that send out your email. Now, if you're getting people on there that are sending out bulk email to people that they've never had contact with, that's actually could be classed as spam. And what would happen is that loads of people might mark your email as spam, etc. And what that does is that it degrades the IP addresses that the services are using to send out your email. And if they have got enough complaints and things like that, these IP addresses get blacklisted, which then means that all the customers using that server, for instance, are going to suffer. So their emails aren't going to be sent out, or if they do, their emails could be marked as spam through no fault of their own. So that's why these systems are so protective of the emails that you send out and of their own services. They want to make sure that they're sending out to kind of clean email addresses. And what I mean by clean email addresses is ones that you've gathered in a legal way, especially now with GDPR, etc., playing havoc on the kind of online marketing community. You need to build your list in the right way. Now, what is the right way? Well, as I've kind of preluded to in other videos, and that it's by creating lead magnets and giving away information for free in exchange for people's contact. That way, when you are sending out your emails, they're expecting those emails from you, so it's going to reach their inbox. So if you've got any questions regarding this, please leave a comment below, and I'll make sure that I answer them for you. And also, if you enjoy the content that I'm creating, please consider subscribing to the channel and actually clicking on the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when I post a new video. I don't know why you need to actually click on the notification bells as well. Surely if you're just clicking on the subscribe button, that should be enough. But, hey, that's YouTube for you. So, as I was saying, when creating your email lists, have those lead magnets, and you don't just need to have one. You could have ones for different areas of your businesses. If you have different types of services, you might have lead magnets for each one of those, because they might lead. They will have a different customer journey. So make sure you are building those lists in the right way. Now, if you are looking to import lists, don't just do it all at once, because I've seen some of these lists and there can be thousands and thousands of names and email addresses on these lists. And the services will throttle your emails, especially if it's a new account and all of a sudden you're sending thousands of emails. What they will do is they will throttle. So let's say, for instance, you've got 5,000 on a list. They might limit it to 10% and send out 10% of those emails. See what kind of response comes back. Now, if you start getting more spam complaints, then you could be in trouble, and they will actually contact you and say, hey, where did you get this list? And you have to go through a few hoops to kind of reactivate your account. So make sure that if you are going to import lists, do it in small batches. That's why you're limiting the possibility of your account being completely shut down. So just bear that in mind when you're doing these types of things. Now, kind of moving on from that, why do you want to use an autoresponder like ActiveCampaign in your business? Well, as you might have heard a lot of times in the marketing world, it can take several touches before someone actually looks to buy from you. And an autoresponder is a great way of kind of keeping in touch with the people that might be interested in buying from you. So, building a list is very important in your business. And if you're starting out, my suggestion would be that this is where you start. Because, as I say, the money is in the list. Once you start building a list, you can market to them, you can sell to them. But don't be fooled by trying to build the biggest list that you can, because normally with these massive lists, only a small percentage of people are actually engaged in those emails, because they've just built it and they don't really care about their list. All they're looking to do is send out as many emails as possible and try and make money. It's not the way that I like to do things. I want to build a highly engaged list. So even if you have 100 people on your list when you start out, or even less, if you're getting most of that list to open your emails, read it, click on the links, I would rather have that than a massive list where you might only have a small percentage of people actually opening emails. If you start with small like that and you start growing, you can make sure that it's always going to be engaging. And when you write your emails, make sure that they are engaging. It's not boring emails. Make it interesting for someone. Make so that they're interested and they look forward to when your email actually hits their inbox. Make it interesting, make it fun. So, as I was saying, with the marketing having repeated touches, an autoresponder system allows you to do that. And having the repeated touches plus the visits, that equals kind of familiarity, which then also builds the trust that people have in you, and down the line that will also equal sales. Unfortunately, you have a lot of people that start building a list but then might only email once in a blue moon or once a month, and if you're doing once a month, that means over a 12-month period all you're doing is sending out 12 emails. Now that's not really a great way to keep your list and your community engaged with you. You want to be sending out more than that. Now, the frequency of that will depend on what industry you're in and what your list is like. I've been on lists where I get an email every day, and I don't mind that because that email was actually very engaging, and I would look forward to it. 11 o'clock every day, this email was sent out, and I actually looked for it in my inbox. But you might find that I can't keep up with writing an email a day. You might write one, maybe even 2 emails a week. And again, it just depends on how comfortable you are in doing that, but also making sure that you are consistent in your approach. Sending one email this week, not doing one next week, sending 2 the following week. You're not teaching your list or your community when you might be sending the email. So try and be consistent when you are doing that. So if you have any questions regarding this, please leave any comments below, and I will make sure that I answer them for you. So that is kind of what I wanted to go through today regarding lists and autoresponders. You don't need to have a list when you first start out. These autoresponder systems are there to help you build the list and build them in the right way. So, like I said, you don't need to have a list to start off with. All you need to do is make sure you have some kind of lead magnet that you can exchange for people's contact details, and then entertain them in your email. Set up proper follow-up sequences. And again, when I've seen people do, and I've done it myself in the past, where you have a lead magnet, you send them one email, here's the link, and that's the last email you send to them. Make sure you have a proper follow-up sequence. The first few emails might be going through some points that were in the ebook to make sure that people have actually read it. You can then tell them a bit more about yourself, about the services that you offer. Once you've gone through that, you might drop them into a more prolonged nurture sequence, so that you're making sure that they are getting emails from you on a regular basis. Probably the most kind of popular and most engaging email sequences is the actual abandonment cart follow-ups. Someone that's gone out to the checkout, they've started putting in their details, but they actually haven't clicked on the place the order button. If you can capture their details and then follow up with them saying, I saw that you went to the checkout page, you started putting in your details, but you never placed your order. Are there any questions that I can answer for you, to alleviate any fears that you might have in buying the product? All of a sudden, you're asking what the issue might be, you're answering those questions, and you've got a much better chance of them actually placing the order afterwards. So as you can see, there's different ways that you can use autoresponders, not just sending out for emails after someone's downloaded the lead magnet. So, go out, build your list, and use one of those systems out there. And as I said, if you enjoy the content of this video and would like to see more, please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you get notified when I next post a new video. There will be a new video tomorrow at 11 o'clock UK time, and that's going to be a video that I did while I was away, actually recording everything on my iPhone, using a lavalier mic and some cheap lighting just to kind of give atmosphere to the room that I was in. And I did that just to make sure and to show people that you don't need all the expensive equipment to start creating video. So hopefully you'll catch that tomorrow, and I will see you on the next one.